and welcome to episode 5 of Talk a Good Game. On Monday night we looked at the Arsenal game, so we're not going to be looking at that tonight. We're going to be looking forward to Saturday's game, which is the Leicester City one, and of course there's one or two transfer rumours we're going to pick up on. Back with me tonight is two familiar faces. Scott, good evening.
Good evening.
Where's the Mohawk?
Just finished work, had a shower, and it's flattened. It's got erectile dysfunction.
Sounds a bit like Charlie's love life. Charlie, how are you doing tonight?
What? Mate, you lot, man. You lot, just a disarray, and all of a sudden I'm public enemy number one. I was fine until you lot decided to pick on me. Yeah? Thank you for having me, by the way.
We don't pick on you. But anyway,
Well,
let's look ahead at the game. It's quite difficult to speak about this game because we're not really expecting much changes from the Arsenal one. The only position we could chat about, I suppose, Scott, is the right back. Jenkinson was obviously ineligible against Arsenal, but he is available against the Leicester City game. But Tompkins did okay in most people's opinion. Do you think we should stick with the winning team, or are you thinking that we just have to put our natural right back in?
No, I think I'd like to see sticking with the original team. I mean, I'm not going off what we were saying last time. Tongue in cheek, I put Zarate in there.
Charlie, what about you? Are you thinking stick with Tonks, or do you twist and go with Jenkinson?
Jenkinson for me. I think Tompkins did well, but Arsenal weren't really that much of a danger down the wings. And when you look at flipping like Leicester's pace on the wings with people like Jeffrey Schlupp and whatnot, like you've got to have a sure right back, and I think that's got to be Jenkinson in this case.
Yeah, we've got a feature in the middle of the programme coming up where we speak to a Leicester City fan, and he obviously mentioned a couple of things, and Charlie's seen the video, so he's pretending he knows who Jeffrey Schlupp is, but he doesn't.
No.
He watches the Leicester City video. Scott, the other position we could we don't pick on Charlie. We don't. Scott, the other position we could look at is the man in front of the back four, Reece Oxford. He obviously had a blinder at Arsenal. Bilic has spoke about protecting him. Do you leave him in, or do you take him out and maybe look at a more experienced head?
I'd leave him in, just simply because he had such a good match. My only thing with him is he's young. I don't know you can play, but he needs to be protected, and I wouldn't put him for the full match, but I'd start him in that position because I think he did a really good job for us.
Yeah, Charlie, you agreed. You give Oxford your man a match. I assume you'd want to see him start against Leicester City, would you?
Yeah, I think he's our best option. Obiang's supposedly coming back from injury soon, so I mean we can have Obiang on the bench and then maybe bring him on like 20 minutes to go or whatever. But no, I'd say keep Oxford.
Yeah, I'm the same with yourself there. I think I'd be surprised if Reece Oxford was dropped. I'd be a bit disappointed as well because I think that would send out the wrong signal to the youngsters that even if you have a man a match, you're still getting dropped because of your age. As for the right back, I'd like to see Jenkinson come in because I just think Tompkins was a weak spot that Wenger just for whatever reason failed to really capitalise on. I thought he was going to come bombing down that left, but he very rarely came near us. And I don't know, I just think against Leicester at home we've got to push forward, and I think Jenkinson offers us a great deal in attack when we go down that right hand side. Charlie, we've also got a really good record over Leicester City, beat them at home 2-0 last season without really hitting top gear, but new manager now, they won 4-2 the weekend. Are you feeling confident for Saturday, or are you a bit wary?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I will say that before the season I was tipping them for relegation, but after the display they might have enough to sort of escape it like they did last year. I'm not going to say because I was also tipping Sunderland for relegation, but so I'm wary to an extent because I think they're going to be on pace and going to actually come at us like a lot like we did at Arsenal. But I think we've got enough about us to definitely get the win. Yeah,
Scott, what about you? Are you confident, or are you a bit wary of the Leicester result? Sunderland was the best opposition. I never seen the game, but they looked horrible at Sunderland, didn't they?
Oh, Sunderland are poor. I've got Sunderland for going down. But the Leicester, I think they'll come, and I think they'll defend. I mean, I've been speaking to a few people on Twitter, and they think the same. I think they'll be happy with a point. and I think they'll come and try and seek that point from us. We've got to hit the ground running, and the one thing I like about us this year is we've got different game plans. I think we'll have a different game plan than what we did against Arsenal, and I like that. So long last year, we just came out playing the same game, the same tactics. I think this side can mix it a little bit, and I think we'll go straight for them. So I'm predicting 3-0.
Yeah, my prediction's on the away feature with. Well, he's also called Charlie. But what about you, Charlie? Are you going to give us a score prediction?
2-1 to West Ham.
Oh, that's interesting enough. But anyway, now's the time for the feature where we speak to the away fan. It is Who Are You? Yes, this part of the show is called Who Are You? And every week we try to get an opposition fan on, and we've got one with us this week. So, who are you?
I am Charlie. I live in Leicestershire, Leicester season ticket holder for 11 years, and I have a YouTube channel, Next Goal Wins. Check me out on that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for giving up your time.
No worries.
Pleased to hear that you watched our game against Arsenal on Sunday. So come on then, what did you make of that?
Impressed, very impressed. I mean, as a skeptic from the outsider on Bilic, I mean, yes, he's done it before at teams, and at Besiktas it was a bit so-so. But yeah, coming into the Premier League, I thought as the first game, you couldn't have asked for more, could you? Arsenal away. Sacrifice for Europa League maybe for it, but I don't know what you feel like that as a West Ham fan, getting out of Europa League for the Premier League. But yeah, I mean, Payet looked a class above. I mean, we know the assists he gets in the French league at Marseille, it's not a fluke. You can do it in a top league like that, you can do it in England. I mean, players like Reece Oxford looked to settle in brilliantly. I mean, I know he was a talking point for a lot of people on social media, especially his kind of rise up from obscurity last season to now being kind of a player in that first team. And yeah, and Zarate as well, a player who's obviously out on loan last season and comes back into the team and does very well. But yeah, highly impressed I was with the performance at Arsenal.
So were we. Our forum was quite split on Bilic as well. Don't worry, it's not just the neutrals. Our forum themselves were a wee bit split.
Yeah.
Yourself had changes, of course, at your club. Out went Nigel Pearson. In Claudio Ranieri, how did you feel about those two managers?
Uninspired by the Ranieri decision, but not so uninspired by the decision to sack Pearson. I mean, Pearson for the club was an embarrassment a lot of times, especially in press conferences. I mean, for a lot of like neutrals and stuff, it was great humour, his ostrich stuff and the comments he made about the most ignorant man in the world. But looking from a club that I love it was slightly embarrassing at times. But I think every Leicester fan will tell you that as much as now Pearson's gone and the club will hold a place in our heart for him because, I mean, he got us promotions, one of our most successful managers ever. We have to move on now, and Ranieri couldn't have done any more than he did over a weekend to get off to a start like that. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily positive, the support from the crowd at the moment, but it's definitely growing on the Ranieri front.
Yeah, I think we can relate to you quite a lot because obviously a lot of neutrals thought we were mad to sack Allardyce, and a lot of the West Ham fans wanted him gone. Yeah. And I suppose it's role reversal for the Pearson thing over at Leicester, if you like, outside looking in, we're a bit iffy about why you got rid of Pearson. Yeah. Touched on the weekend there, great result for you. Not the best opposition, I suppose, in terms of quality. How did you think about that game went?
A bit like you. I mean, as a West Ham fan and Leicester, we couldn't have asked for any more that first weekend. Yes, Sunderland were poor for the first 30 minutes. I mean, epitomised by Catamol captain coming off after 30 minutes after giving away a penalty on Mahrez, but yeah, the first 30 minutes we were unplayable again. So there wasn't a team that would have been able to play against us that first half an hour. I mean, you could see around the faces the state of shock, thinking, "Well, this is the team from last season when we drew 0-0 against this side, the worst game of last season." But yeah, I mean, it was just brilliant, and to concede 2 goals against that Sunderland team, I'm not too pleased with, especially Stephen Fletcher getting one. But yeah, you can't have the perfect game, can you?
Oh, he's a fellow Scotsman.
Yeah. Sums it up, doesn't it? Scotland's number 9.
He is awful. I'd rather have an ostrich up front than Steve.
I'm sure we would say, yeah.
Well, as you come to Upton Park on Saturday, is there any one of your players, if you like, that we as West Ham fans should look out for and maybe don't know about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you know about your Vardys and players like that, but 2 definitely. I mean, Jeffrey Schlupp, who's a really, really pacey kind of wing back. He played in a 3-5-2, and Albrighton on the other side. I'm going to put them as one player. You've got to watch them because that's our real outlet. Those 2 down the side. I mean, Albrighton's got amazing delivery that he had when he was at Villa, and Schlupp's pace is unbelievably a problem. But the one you really have to watch out for, Dimitri Payet, is Riyad Mahrez, and he's a class above what we've seen at Leicester for a long time. And if he's on top form, he can tear any centre half apart just by his turns.
Yeah, he definitely started the season well anyway. Just lastly about the game before we do our fun quick fire round, give us a prediction for Saturday.
Oh, do I go for my Leicester heart or do I go for my obvious? I'm going to go for 1-0. 1-0, I think, will be a result I'd be happy with. Leicester, notoriously are terrible in London. Anytime we go to London, we lose. So I'd take 1-0 every day of the week and escape.
Yeah, well, just for the sake of you, I'm going to go for a 3-0 home win. I'm very optimistic. My heart says 2-1.
Yeah.
It's 3-0, so I'm going to stick with up here and
I'm changing, man. 4-0 Leicester.
Yeah. Right, quick fire round. You ready for this?
Yes, I'm sorted. Yes.
Answer ASAP. No thinking. No cheating.
I've got you.
Right, Konchesky or Brevet?
Konchesky.
Walkers or Golden Wonder?
Oh, Walkers.
Sex tape scandal or casino scandal?
Casino scandal.
West Ham or Tottenham?
Tottenham.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Joey Barton or no Joey Barton?
No Joey Barton.
Ostrich or Foxes?
Foxes.
Nice one. Well, Charlie, thank you very much for giving up your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
There's a YouTube channel. His link will be below, as well as on the Hammers chat forum. So if you do want to have a look, just give it a click. Thank you very much, Charlie. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you to Charlie for popping on there, and well, he's kind of capitalised on what Scott said there. He'll be happy with a point as well, and you can see that I've gone for the same result as Scott, and that's 3-0. I'm just really confident after Sunday, I suppose. I just think we've got creativity through the team. When we go for free kicks and corners, we've got so much height and power in the box, standing, waiting for it. When we had Oxford, the two centre-backs, Kouyaté, I thought that's just 4 players, Saka as well, so there's 5 really good headers of the ball. They're all quite tall and strong as well. I think we're a danger from set pieces this year. And we've got the man to swing the crosses in, unlike Mark Noble's floaters. Just for a wee dirty plug now, Betway have given us 33-1 on the treble for West Ham to beat Leicester, then Bournemouth at home, and then Liverpool away. So if you do fancy us to win the next 3 games, give us a shout on Hammers Chat, and we'll get you hooked up with that bet there, 33-1. I'm on it anyway, so fingers crossed. I'm optimistic. I expect us to win the next 2 home games, and going to Anfield, the price will be a lot shorter. So if you're a gambler and you fancy that, give us a shout. Now we're going to talk about the news away from the pitch, and the first one we're going to talk about is a naughty boy, and it's not Diafra Sakho, it's Morgan Amalfitano. Charlie, what do you think on this one? Do you think, obviously we don't know for sure, but he wasn't at the open training ground.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of reports suggesting he's fell out with Bilic for not attending the team meeting, and Bilic just come down on him hard. He's not appreciated it and gone on a wee bit of assault, so Bilic just sent him off to train with the kids. Is this not a positive thing, though, in a way?
I think this is Bilic's first big sort of squad problem, so he's probably had to sort of come down slightly harder on him than he might have, just to sort of make an example of him. We do know that Amalfitano has not temperament issues, but we know that he can sort of get a bit frustrated if he's not playing or if he's doing something that if the owner or the manager are doing something he doesn't like. That happened at Marseille. That's basically why we got him so cheaply. I like him a lot. I really do. He can be frustrating, but I think he is genuinely super talented. But if he wants to continue with a hissy fit, then we might as well just get rid of him now.
Scott, would you be sad to see him leave, or are you not too fussed?
I'll be sad to see him leave, but I'm 1 foot toe in the line. He's part of a squad, and he has to get his head around that. And he ain't bigger than the side, so he needs to put up or shut up. And I like the way that the manager's dealt with things. He's made the decision, and that's it. So, like I said, put up or shut up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's nipped it in the bud very quickly. He's isolated the problem, if you like, and took it away from the senior squad to keep that harmony. And he's not the only player that's been taken away from the senior squad to keep the harmony. Scott, we're now going to touch on Mr. Joey Barton. We thought it was the fans that to stamp their feet, if you like, and made the owners turn him down. It's coming out now. There's a few reports saying it was actually the players as well as, or instead of, if you like. Do you think the players and the fans should have such a big say in this, or do you think the owners should trust their instinct, and if they feel that Bilic wants Barton, then they should go get Barton?
I was a bit all over with it when I heard he was coming, but you know, we're part of this club, and when I heard he was coming, I thought, well, he's not a bad player, and then it starts to sink in what kind of a player he is and the way that he conducts himself on and off the field. And is that really what we wanted to be associated with West Ham? You know, do we want the kids growing up to see this on the pitch? And did we want, you know, youngsters like Oxford being in training with these people that just can't keep their tempers and act like children? So I don't think the owners should just have the one say on it. I think, like you said, if I'm training with somebody and he's kicking off every 2 minutes and, you know, throwing punches, I wouldn't want to train with him. You know what I mean? It's just not right. I'm so glad now that he isn't coming. Just like I said, just for that reason, the ethos and the way that the club is, we don't need that.
Do you think they have listened to the fans though, Scott, or do you think it's maybe a convenient excuse, if you like?
No, I think they have in some way. Yeah, because to be honest with you, they could get him on a free. They could pay him as they play him. He could just sort of slip in there. It'd be a nice, you know, he's got experience. I've got to give him that. You know, he's been around a little bit, and he could sort of slip in there, and it would have been a really easy transfer for him to do. And then all of a sudden, he's just gone cold. So yeah, I think that he have listened.
Charlie, before all the reports that he wasn't coming came out, well, obviously we thought, let's face it, on Monday we were certain he was coming. There was rumours that he was having his medical there and then. It kind of came from nowhere a bit. Were you for or against the transfer?
Purely on the basis that he would have come here and been a complete bit part player. He wouldn't exactly been on the pitch every week, and it seemed to signal the end for Kevin Nolan. The reports came out, and then Kevin Nolan was obviously quoted on the website talking about who the next captain should be and talking essentially about leaving. So I was for him being here, because when I looked at the game against Arsenal, and Kevin Nolan, I have to give him his dues, did do well after he came on. But Joey Barton was someone who would come on the pitch and give 100% no matter what, and would just like run, like just go. He's not a lazy person by any means. I think the owners have shown a lack of conviction a lack of belief in Joey Barton in this. I think they know that we don't necessarily need him, and the fact that apparently some players came up to them and said we wouldn't want him here, and the fact that obviously the fans did shows that I don't particularly think they needed him, and it was just a convenient transfer basically.
And Justin, Scott, going back to the fans thing, you said you think they've listened to the fans. Well, they didn't really listen to the fans about the club crest, did they?
Yep. No, they didn't. They didn't. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that are putting the money in. Like I said, it was like an easy victory for them. You know, they got him. He wasn't here or there with it. They got him, and he could have done the job for us. They didn't get him. It's no big deal. So it was one that they could have given us, and they did give us it. The club crest, like I said, it's something. It's on a different level.
Yeah, but just how you pick and choose when you use the fans and when you listen to the fans, if you like. Charlie, Joey Barnes obviously released a video in the early hours of this morning about him thanking the support of the fans and kind of buttering us up a wee bit. Has that changed your views on him?
No, I said I wanted him before. I say I want him now. Some people, you can take a very cynical look at it and say he's doing it purely to try and get the transfer over the line. For him, I feel like it was just him saying, do you know what, it's not worked out, thanks anyway, see you later, essentially. I mean, he's got. Remember when Michael Owen was looking for a club before Man United signed him, and his agency was sending out leaflets talking about how great he was to clubs. Like, I think it's just another way of that. It's just him saying, "Look, I'm not kicking off. I'm not getting angry. I'm just saying thank you."
Scott,
basically. But they're
Scott, how do you?
no, go on.
Or do you think? Do you think Joey Barton maybe got a bit more to it then? Do you think he's trying to engineer a move to West Ham, or do you think a bit like Charlie, where he's just trying to put himself out there in the window and remind everyone he's still kicking about?
Yeah, I think that was definitely it. I think he suddenly came up from nowhere. I just think he's putting himself out there. He don't want to retire yet. Thinks he's got a few more miles left in the tank, and that's basically what he was doing, just putting his name around and about. But he's a liability. Whoever takes that lad on, I'll regret it.
He's a risk. He's definitely a risk, but I'm torn on this one. Initially, when I heard it, I thought, no chance do I want him anywhere near this club. I still remember when Lee Bowyer tried to come to this club, and there was a campaign outside the ground about him joining and stuff, and I just thought, no, not another one of these. But I thought about it, and he is a good player, but I just think it's too risky, and I think I'm just worried that this video is to try and turn the fans that were against it into fans being pro Barton. Then I've just got a funny feeling that he's going to join up in the next week or so, and fans and the owners are going to say, "Oh no, the fans spoke and said they wanted Joey Barton to join." And if it goes wrong, it's their escape route. They're going to say, "Well, you said you wanted him." I think it's just a bit funny, this video. I don't want him here. It's a no for me. So yes from Charlie. What are you, Scott? Yes or no?
It's a no from me. If you've any doubts about this lad, just go on YouTube, type in, just see some of his antics from the past. I work on a mental health ward. This lad has issues, believe me.
That's extreme. Right, two more transfer rumours we're going to touch on. One a bit more stronger than the other. The other one is a goalkeeper. Robert Green might be coming back to West Ham, where there's certainly enough reports linking him. Charlie, you're a fan of Randolph, aren't you? Do you think Robert Green's maybe not necessarily got a place here?
I don't think Robert Green has a place here. I love him for what he did at his time at the club. Up until Adrian, during my lifetime, he has been my favourite West Ham goalkeeper. But at this point in time, we've obviously got Adrian, we've got Randolph, and we've only just signed him as well. We've also got Raphael Spiegel, who will be probably leaving the club at the end of this year, but he's still here for now. And then we've also got Sam Howes in the youth team coming through. He's already played first team football in the last pre-season. Randolph, for me, I've spoken to people I know who are fans of his previous clubs, and they've all said uniformly he starts slow before becoming an incredibly solid keeper. Birmingham did not want to get rid of him. They really wanted him to stay. They offered him contract after contract, and he turned them all down, believing it was his time to leave. I think we have to give him time. He's come in, he's got a defence in front of him who he's never seen before. He's looked shaky, but, so did Adrian. And now Adrian's seen as one of the better goalkeepers kind of in the league at this point. I mean, he's not one of the top echelon, but he's definitely up there. And so give him a chance. He's only backup, and Robert Green for 60k a week. It's a lot of money to spend on a guy who will be sitting on the bench. So, no.
I'm pretty sure you just said you wanted Joey Barton. I think he'd be on about 60 grand a week.
Well, the rumours were that he is on that, but the rumours were that he was going to, originally it was 20k a week, I think it was, but then there was a pay-as-you-play deal. Also, like I said, Joey Barton's not really needed, but if Kevin Nolan was going out, I would have liked him in. But Randolph's not leaving; he's just joined. So,
Scott, your thumbs up or thumbs down for Robert Green?
Thumbs up. I think if Adrian gets injured this year, I think we're in real trouble. Rudolph's not the lad for me. Watching him, he flaps a lot. I really want to, he puts our shirts on at the end of the day, and he goes out and plays for our team, and I really want to like him, but he worries me. He worries me. He doesn't seem to understand. He doesn't know. He doesn't fill me with confidence. Green had a great season last year, even though they went down. Watching him, his positional play, he's a top goalkeeper. And I'm just having him on the bench, and just in case anything happens, because our season will go downhill fast if Adrian gets injured.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind you with this one on Scott, but also I think Green still respects and loves the club a lot. Even though he doesn't wear the crest anymore, I think he still respects it. Last transfer, very, very quickly. We're being looked with Victor Moses this evening and this afternoon. If you like, Charlie, yes or no?
He's not going to leave Chelsea, but if he does, yes.
Scott, Victor Moses, yes or no?
Yeah, but he's not going to leave Chelsea. I watched him the other day. Absolutely run things. A wonderful, wonderful player.
I think he will leave Chelsea. I think he's going to go on loan. I think he wants to stay in London. I'm not sure if that's his or Chelsea's decision. Very limits his clubs massively. I think he'd be better suited to Palace than us, in all honesty. But I'm not sure how he would fit in with our formation, but we'll see how that pans out. But before we disappear tonight, I've got to tell you one more thing, and that is that Scott is away to Brazil in October. He's away to work with underprivileged children. There's a big article about it on the Hammer Chat news site and on the forum. But what he's needing is any kids strips for any club. Just please get in touch with Scott on Twitter. His Twitter will be underneath here. Just get in touch with him. Anything's appreciated. He's got a target of £500, so you can buy a complete kit from West Ham, so you can kit out a child's team out there over in West Ham strips as well. So any penny is appreciated at all. But Scott, good luck for when you go. You're stuck with us for another month or two yet, though.
Thanks very much for the plug. No, I don't mind being on here. Yeah, anything that you've got, your kids are growing up and they've got these old kits, direct message me, and I'll take them to Brazil and I'll put them to good use. And you'll see other kids who have got nothing basically wearing your kids' gear. So it just puts a new life to things.
Yeah, fantastic. But anyway, Charlie, thank you for tonight.
You're more than welcome. Don't get any more other Charlies on the show. Yeah, that's my spot. Bear trying to steal it, but yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
He was a clean-shaven Charlie. I would like that. Scott, thank you very much tonight as well.
Thanks so much for having me on again. Thanks so much.
And hopefully we'll be back next week celebrating another win. And who knows, we might even be top of the league. Good night.